So yes, you are the brother of Peter Reid.
We're the team, we're supreme, number one.
Is it true
Go
that,
on,
that
Phil.
that that's known as the greatest game ever to be played at Goodison Park? Is that true?
In my opinion, yeah, and a lot of other people are saying, whenever you talk to anyone about great games in football, that's one of them. And it was, no, that's top of my list. Um, Years previously, I was at the Liverpool San Etienne game at Anfield,
Wow, fair clough.
and that was an awesome game. There was one time we were on a night out in Bolton, and um, some girl was driving to a club in a little MG midget, and I tried to get a lift, and it obviously wasn't room. So I sat on the back holding on, and someone told Bolton Wonders that that was our Peter. It wasn't.
Hello and welcome to Random Fandom, the podcast where we pick a different team out of the supercomputer each week and then see if we can hunt a fan down. Now, been on a bit of a barren spell. We've drawn Brackley Town out of the hat. We couldn't find a Brackley Town fan. We drew Reading out of the hat, where I went to university and was sure we would find a Reading fan, and we did, but we just couldn't make our calendars work. So last week we pulled Everton out of the hat, and I think it's fair to say we pulled a bit of a blinder here, John. So let's fire up the crowd to find out who we have today. So we know you're an Everton fan. What's your name and how long have you supported Everton?
My name is Mike Reid. I've supported Everton since 1981.
1981, and it's fair to say there might be some sort of famous connection to Everton as well, Mike, right?
If you look at my surname, yes, you can work it out, I'm sure.
I was going to make a really bad joke about when you popped on camera. I don't remember you looking anything like this in EastEnders, but
Oh, jeez. I'm going, I'll see you later.
So yes, you are the brother of Peter Reid. So we will touch on that a little bit, but obviously we're really here to talk about your fandom. But I'm sure some of that has got a massive overlap anyway. So why don't we start at the beginning? How, and why Everton?
Well, before Everton, there's a long history of it. I suppose everything from Python Boys, Bolton Wonders, Rochdale, York City. So I've supported a lot of different teams. But then Peter signed for Everton, and it's blood and guts for me. You just probably your blood.
Nice. So when would that have been? When did he sign for Everton?
It was the end of 81, 82, I think it was. I might be wrong on that, but it was around about that age. But I was, before that, I followed Liverpool. But I've got to put a little asterisks on that. The only reason I followed Liverpool was to try and get me dad to like me as much as you like Peter. But then when we all changed over to Everton, it just took the pressure off then, so we got all right.
How does that make you feel, John, hearing about the switching of allegiances?
Well, it's dreadful, isn't it? So your dad was a big Liverpool fan.
He was a big disappointment, to be honest. Because back in the day when he was a kid and he was growing up, and my family moved out of the Irish part of Liverpool to Huyton, and their parish priest used to preach that everyone should be an Everton supporter, because in those days that was the Catholic side, and if you're a Liverpool supporter, the priest wasn't very happy with you. But my dad was an awkward sod.
Awesome. So, okay, this one's a bit weird then, I guess, because of the connection with your brother. I was gonna say, what's your first real memory of going to an Everton game? But is it going to be like his debut, or like what was the first memory you have of going to an Everton game?
Bolton Wanderers Central League side, or the reserve side, played Everton reserve side at Goodison, and I went along supporting, obviously, my brother, because he was playing for Bolton Wanderers at the time. But the very first time I supported the side playing at Goodison was when Peter in 1971 was playing for the Highton Boys side that won the English Schools FA Trophy. And they played at Goodison against those boys. And his fact that he's won the English Schools Football Trophy and the real FA Cup, I don't think there's not many people in history that have done that.
Am I right in saying that the Highton Schoolboys were the first non-city team to win the English Schoolboys
You are absolutely
trophy?
correct, yes. Yeah.
It's the 55th year celebration this year, I believe.
Yes, you've done your homework.
There we go.
I was going to say, John's good at doing his research. I'm just going to be quiet at this point because John's our stato.
So we got them all together and we went on to the pitch at Goodison last weekend when Everton women were playing Liverpool women, and we had them all, as many of them as are still alive, God bless them. We had them all on the pitch and had the copy of the trophy with us.
So this is how deep I've done my research. Were you selling programs that day?
Yeah, that's how close we are. When Peter was playing in the final, obviously football then was run by school teachers, and it was it's a big sad loss to football in this country when school teachers weren't able to continue that. But one of the teachers said to me, "Come along and help," and I thought, what's he going to do? Am I going to struggle? He gave me a handful of programs and told me to just go and send them. 2 old pence ago.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
So did you go to Anfield before then? Did you go and watch Liverpool play?
I went to watch Liverpool play from the age of probably 16 to 21. Again, it was just my dad was a big Liverpool supporter. Sorry, Peter was a Liverpool supporter at that time, and he was the sporty one. He could play football, basketball, tennis, anything, and he was always good at it. I was the little weedy one who sat at home and read all the time. Still went out and played football with the kids in the street, and it was there's enormous pride in what Peter's done, and to me, Dad was the proudest one of all of us. But my mum, right from the start, she was always an Everton supporter, and my younger brother, Sean, so there was some good in the side.
Well, I don't think of pride then for Peter. I think he's brought shame on the family.
Can't say that.
Am I right in saying you're over in America?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the best place for you.
So I'm just interested in this. Before we get onto some of your favourite memories of then supporting Everton, you're the first person that we've ever had come on this podcast who has gone through a changing of supporting of a team because of that family bond. So, and by the sounds of things, your dad as well, and like as a family, you've all just gone, right, Peter plays for Everton. We're an Everton family now. Is that just like instant because of the family bond that like those 5 years you spent going to Anfield and supporting Liverpool, does that all just vaporize and it's just you're so pleased to see your brother playing that it's that?
Well, I've got to qualify that. Peter started playing for Bolton. We were Bolton supporters. Sean started playing for Rochdale. We were Rochdale supporters. Then we moved through Bolton, Everton, Rochdale, York City, Chester City, Southampton, Manchester City, Sunderland. So what you've got is we're not tribal Everton supporters as such. No, that's a lie. We are to a certain extent. But what you've got is it's a love of football because we've had such a wide experience of it and such a proper education of football. We don't blindly follow someone just because they've been successful at one point. I mean, I watch my local club, Prescott Cables, now that my brother Sean used to manage, and I get probably now more joy than watching Premier League football doing that. So, yes, we did change, but we'd had such a big football education before that it was easy to appreciate the more familial values that go with that.
That's awesome. It's awesome. It's just such a unique, nothing that me and John have kind of chatted to anybody about before. It's just I just find that so intriguing. But okay, so you kind of alluded there. Then there is diehard Everton fans still in there. Then so let's just take you down memory lane a little bit before we kind of get onto something that we'd found. What's your highest high as you look back and think of life as an Everton fan? What is the moment that you cling to go, if I shut my eyes, that's what I see, and it just makes me happy because it's the best thing ever to have happened to Everton?
Oh, that's so very easy. Everton, Bayern Munich.
Okay.
So that was the semi-final of the Cup Winners' Cup, right? Yeah. Is it true that's known as the greatest game ever to be played at Goodison Park? Is that true?
In my opinion, yeah, and a lot of other people are saying whenever you talk to anyone about great games in football, that's one of them, and that's top of my list. Years previously, I was at the Liverpool St Etienne game at Anfield.
Wow, fair club.
And that was an awesome game. Now, of the two football games I think are the best I've seen, the Everton Bayern Munich one just tipped it by a mile.
Why was that? The atmosphere or something else?
The atmosphere was absolutely astonishing, but I've got a clip of Peter's tackles during that game, and all it does is show it's somebody's done a really good job of condensing them and showing the ferocity of the tackles. And I think it compressed it something like a 2-minute clip, and there was 47 red cards in it in today's league. But just Peter had a tackle which made his leg bleed, and he was running around with a sock full of blood and a sponge shoved down his sock, and it was that sort of visceral, and the atmosphere was more than tense. It was difficult to breathe because it was so thick and heavy. The noise was astonishing, and that was that Howard Kendall quote: "Just get it in the Gladys Street and they'll suck it into the goal." It was that sort of a tremendous atmosphere.
So, because you beat Bayern 3-1, right? And then you went on to beat, was it Rapid Vienna in the final?
Yeah.
But I think most people will say that it's almost like Bayern was the final. I mean, obviously it was the moment that you won and lifted the trophy against Rapid Vienna, but everyone seems to say that Bayern Munich game was just so special. That might as well have been the final, essentially.
Totally agree. I do think that the final was a bit of an anticlimax because it is such a feeling of pride and worth in the city. Because Liverpool were doing well at the same time, and it was. I can remember being in pubs watching a match, and they weren't shouting Liverpool or Everton. There was a Merseyside chant, and that had gone. That was when people liked each other. There's some idiots out there now, but it's the fact that it brought everyone together, that we both had success, was astonishing.
Now, that's 1985, and around there, two moments that John and I found, which I was only, 1985, I was 10, so I sort of remember these, but Everton put in a good couple of FA Cup songs along the way. Well, we'll decide if good is doing heavy lifting in this sentence. But here we go. 1984's Boys in Blue. We'll have a little sort of 25-second blast of this bad boy.
We're gonna take it nice and slow, then hit them from the left and right.
Look at his face.
No, there ain't nowhere they can go until the game is won.
Yes.
'Cause the boys in blue are back again to show what they
Okay,
can do.
only a little bit more.
So give a cheer, I wanna hear it for the boys in blue.
Oh, woo! They don't make him like that anymore, Mike. That is something special.
Right, can I just share something with you? I played that to Peter a couple of 18 months ago, something like that. He doesn't remember a thing about it. It was the first time he did it. I think he just blocked it out of his memory.
I mean, that is full on. If you wanted to define the 80s by keyboard synthesizers, it's all in that track right there.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you followed that up in 1985.
I can have that one. We're the team, we're supreme, number one. Lovely song.
There we go. So, I mean, two very different songs just a year apart. I mean, somebody must have added a word and said, can we dial the synthesizers down a little bit this year? 'Cause-
No excuse, and I've got no explanation whatsoever for that. I enjoyed the second one, it was good though.
See, I'm a little bit of I got a soft spot for the FA Cup, and I do miss FA Cup songs. I still rank it up there as one of my favourite trophies. I'm gutted that Southampton put Arsenal out last weekend, but the songs have kind of died away a little bit now. They're not really done. And I was reading that this is the last one that you really recorded. We go forward 10 years, 1995.
Everton's gonna win the cup. Big Dave's gonna lift it up. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All together now.
All together, I love that one.
Change the words. Get ready. Here we go. I miss this tradition. I know there's too much money in football these days for them to care about it, but it should be mandated that both teams need to release an FA Cup final song.
Totally agree. That one by the farm was an absolute stormer.
Was 95 the year you won it? Did you beat United in that final? Is that the 1-0?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's I think that's one of the flags we see from Liverpool and Derby Day. It was they like to remind us that was the last time we won anything.
I was a massive Everton fan that day, cheering on the defeat of United.
Yeah, I think quite a few other people were as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb now because I didn't look this one up. But was that like a Kevin Radcliffe header or no? Who scored the winner? In that it was 1-0, wasn't it?
Rightos.
Ah, that's it. Right, I knew it began with R. You see, it was there, tip of my tongue. Okay. So we got Bayern Munich as your highest high. Over the course of your support in Everton, which is that kind of lowest low where you just want to think, oh, I don't want to go through that again?
If you're talking about a game, it was the cup final against Man United after the Rapid Vienna win. I think they had 3 days, which would shock the side of today. They played one final, came home, played another one, and none of them were crying down their legs about playing too many games in such a short space of time. In fact, over the Christmas, New Year in that year, I think I'm right in saying within a 6-week period, Everton played something like 14 or 15 games. So the arguments don't stack up, and they used to like a drink and go have a night out as well, and they didn't look after themselves the way the young princes do now. So that was proper footballers, and there were no moans about squad sizes or people being a wee bit tired.
Yeah,
because
I know.
Had you won that game, you would have won the treble, right?
Yeah. I just, I was there watching it, and I was standing with some of Peter's ex-Bolton teammates, and they were obviously they're Manx, so they were leaning towards that side. And I can remember screaming their head off. There was like 5 minutes ago, come on boys, we can still do this. And they looked at me like, yeah, I just realised I couldn't say that, but they were a bit dodgy about me sanity. But if that was that was the treble, that would have been an exceptional year.
Yeah, because I was
But
looking back, I was just reminding myself over kind of Everton seasons. If from like when I remembered, you were like reigning from my first real season that I remember. You guys were, I think, were you reigning champions? You won the league in like 85, 80, that same season, wasn't it? It would have been the treble, and then
yeah,
you kind of fell away a little bit. Then you'd come back and you'd kind of be in that kind of sixth, seventh zone. Had a couple of early runs at Champions League, and then every now and again you're just kind of like I don't want to say check out, but Everton will all of a sudden just like drop back and they'll spend a few years in that kind of 15th, 16th type area. And then bizarrely can just come roaring back and have another run at it and then kind of like fall back again. So is that frustrating to watch that, like, especially under the Moyes era, like they felt like there was something maybe coming to a head and then it sort of takes a step back again. And maybe we all go through that in football, that we all have cycles, but Everton just seem to be this, they're either up or they're down, but
we've got character. We're not like we Everton supporters don't feel entitled. We're loyal. We know things are going to go bad. We don't think they're going to go bad. We know. We appreciate the good times. But when things start going hard for us, there's a small element of what I call the toxic Toffees who will just have a pop at anyone. But the vast majority of Everton fans are loyal, supportive, and honest. What we're seeing at Liverpool now is that they've had years of entitlement, and now it's been crushed, and they can't handle it. So we've built it up, that resilience over the years, and it's a good thing to build up. I'm not saying we're happy about it, but we're a resilient sports base, and I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, I always think it's some degree. It also depends what era you happen to be born in or found your team. Because I always think that I've got friends that are Arsenal fans that are younger, like my sons as well, and they've kind of grown up. When they were young, it was the Wenger years, it was the glory years, and they only ever knew us being at the top of the table. I'm like, I I earned my stripes of like 15 years of going through not a lot, other than like the 1989. Sorry, John, beating Liverpool at Anfield to win the title. There was the George Graham stodge. Then there was just 12th place, 14th place finishes, and I think you're absolutely right with that word of entitlement. There are every fan base probably gets it, and then when the success falls away, the toxic ones moan for a while, then hopefully leave because you just don't need those. It's like it's through thick and thin. I think when you support your football team, you support them up or down.
I've I was a teacher most of my life, and in recent years I've been doing tutoring for kids who, for one reason or other, can't attend school. And I was tutoring one kid, and we were having a little chat, and it turned out he's an Everton supporter. And when you trying to get to know that, I said, "Why are you an Everton supporter? You're 15 at the time." I said, "You're 15, you've never seen them have success." And he said, "How dare you? Why would you ask me that?" So, well, he just didn't counsel us. It wasn't a discussion with him. So I told him who my brother was, and Peter did a video for him saying, "Come on, get stuck in that kid's let's try and look after you." And we sent it to him, and he was the best student you could ever wish for after that. But it's that age group that are coming up that have never seen success that are getting excited now, and they're looking at Everton, they're looking at the new stadium, and things are starting to really buzz for them. And I really, I admire the Everton fans now who come up and haven't tasted success. It's history, and that's the song, if you know your history. History should be repeating itself.
Well, if we go from history to looking forward, whisper it, but you could finish above Liverpool this year.
Whoa.
There's a really good derby coming up shortly. That's going to be one of the best for many a year. I'm really looking forward to it. There are many times in the past I haven't been looking forward to it. This is where I am.
Ooh. What's your thoughts, John?
It's the first derby in the new Dickinson Stadium. It's obviously a sellout. I'm very nervous, very nervous. you'd probably on recent form, you'd probably have to back Everton, wouldn't you? But yeah, not really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say that you can only back, you can go in 100% back in your team and these things, but I'm cautiously optimistic about the derby that's coming up.
Yeah, because timing wise, I just quickly checked the fixture list out. You've got the do or die second leg against Paris in the midweek right before the Everton games. So you're either sorry, John, but you're probably on a little bit of a downer because you've just been knocked out the Champions League, and then you've got to pick yourself up and go to Everton, or you've just done the
Or
biggest heroic comeback ever, and you're full of adrenaline, and you charge up to Everton and give them a good game. But I guess we'll have to see.
do you remember Barcelona? It's been done before.
Yeah, but it could be another Istanbul moment, but it's all fiercer now, isn't it? It's just building up for the derby, and the banter's going to be astonishing. I can feel it now. It's, and I'm waiting. I've had messages come through after derbies in past years where I've been slaughtered by people from far and wide, like people who used to work with, who were working in the Middle East, and somebody working in Australia and America, and they always give me a little bit of a stick because the derby scores. I'm waiting. I'm ready.
So have you been to the new stadium?
Yes. I actually, when it was being built, Peter and I had a little walk around. It was the carcass of the stadium, and it was as you walked in, even when it wasn't finished, you could feel there was like a built-in atmosphere there. It was just astonishing, and the ground as it is now, when you walk, driving to it, you drive under a wee railway bridge, and as you come up out of the road under the railway bridge, it just rises like a phoenix in the over the Mersey. It's beautiful.
And how does it compare to Goodison Park? It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. It's so last weekend we were at Goodison Park for the women's derby, and it's just like it's like you know, call it the old lady, isn't it? And it's lovely and warm and it's comforting. And then you look at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, and it's bright, sparkling. It's lovely. It's sitting on the banks of the Royal Blue Mersey, and the whole thing, it's just it's a piece of art.
Yeah, it looks absolutely beautiful. I've been to Goodison Park once. Actually, Liverpool lost 3-0 to Everton, and the whole what's that?
It goes to the next derby.
The entire stadium was shaking.
Yes.
It felt like it was going to collapse. I mean, I was up on the on the side, and I was like, oh my God, are we going to get out of here alive? But it was the atmosphere was unbelievable. Fair play.
Well, you're right. The actual structure of the ground used to vibrate with the atmosphere.
Yeah.
The thing that got me about it as well is it was the smells of the old stadiums. Goodison Park had a smell of its own. I mean, so did Liverpool, but that was only because people used to pee down the cop. But Goodison Park, it had it was an entire atmosphere, and it just. Do you know what it smelled like a working man's game of football.
Yeah,
Do you know what? People going straight from work.
Yeah, I've gone through two of those kind of changes of stadiums. Obviously, Arsenal. I used to go to Highbury quite a bit, and then there was something about Highbury compared to the Emirates. The Emirates is a great, big, fantastic modern stadium, but I still pine for that small, compact stadium where, like you say, it's kind of old school. And then I used to go when I was at university in Reading for the first few years I was there. Reading were playing at Elm Park, which was another tiny little compact stadium in the middle of like terraced housing where you just walk past someone's house. Oh, there's a house, there's a house, there's a house. Oh, there's an entrance to a stadium. And then they went and moved to the Medeski Stadium. And actually, yeah, and all my in-laws are all Swansea City fans, and when I was first getting together with my wife, they would initiate me into Welsh football by going down the Vetch to watch Swansea, which was again one of those kind of classic old school, like you say, working men's stadiums, and now they've got the Liberty or whatever it's called. I mean, it's the modern way, but I
Yeah.
do, and I know I'm
Roker
sounding
Park
old
was
as
like
well,
that as
but
well.
yeah,
Sunderland's Roker Park was like that. You turn around a corner on a terrace houses, and there it would be Roker Park. And again, that was a lovely stadium, but the Stadium of Light is wonderful as well.
yeah. Right. So we've kind of looked at the past and your highest highs, lowest lows. When we look at this squad at the moment, this season, we kind of touched upon maybe, you're 3 points behind Liverpool. Maybe you could go past them. Who gets you off your seat at the moment in the current squad? Any kind of favourite players in that team at the moment for you?
Oh, yeah, Dewsbury Hall.
Mm.
Ndai, that lad has got fairy feet. He can do things with the ball when he's running. Ndai, he's one of the best midfielders I've seen. Attacking midfield, and he's got everything. We're going to be looking to keep hold of some of these players. But like everybody says, if we don't get a couple of defenders and a striker, it doesn't matter, because the vultures will start on Everton then.
Yeah, because
it's the results thing, isn't it?
it is, and whether it's Liverpool or whoever, because you're on that edge of European football, which I think makes a huge difference to whether or not you get to keep some of those players you've been referring to. Like it's a fickle game, unfortunately. Money talks, and if you've got some bright lights in there and people have got money to go splashing, then but you got to. I think the Everton are on the rise at the moment, and Liverpool and Chelsea are struggling. So I honestly think that you've got a good chance of hunting those two down.
No, so do I. It's the fact that best goalkeeper in the country has stayed with us. I mean, the picture's astonishing, and when you've got that sort of loyalty, it does go through the team. And even just keeping Seamus on the box and keeping him in with the players, Seamus Coleman, that sort of builds in that he's got Everton at heart. He influences the rest of them, the young ones, and we've got some correction coming through.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right, time is going to be upon us soon, but I know John has got a certain line of questioning around a certain England goal that I think he wants to pick your brains on. So over to you, John, because this one's all you.
Well, obviously, when you talk about your brother, the Maradona incident comes up. I just wondered if Maradona was wearing a Liverpool shirt that day, does Peter go into two-footed?
I'm glad you asked me this. I've never heard that question before. When you look at that goal, which we have a lot, because my mum and dad used to fly out if they won that game, so we were all sitting there watching together. Peter's doing shuttle runs in midfield before Maradona takes off. Then he's coming after him, and Peter was. This is not an excuse; it's a fact. He was playing with a stress fracture on his leg, and he was chasing after him. Peter chasing after him. How many people stood there and let him go past?
Mm.
He went past another two midfielders. The centre halves would just let them do what he wanted, and the keeper should have wiped them out before they got anywhere near him. So it was nothing to do with Peter.
Good answer.
Yeah. If you get a chance, have a little look at there's somewhere on YouTube. Somebody videoed him doing one of these after dinner speeches, and that was the basis of it. Everybody else was rubbish, and Peter was trying to clean up after them, so it's not suing him to go. It's a good one to watch.
Well, he did go past the entire team, didn't he? So
yeah, and Peter's the only one who gets stick about it, and it's one of the things in football that irks me. I mean, when Brian Robson and Wilkins, for different reasons, came out of the side, Peter and a few others came in and Beagley just stepped up, and it made a proper team. The balance on that side was absolutely wonderful. And
it was
from that sending off and the shoulder injury, it's the difference in the football. And I can remember it, it's clear as day, the difference in the football was astonishing. And for everyone to concentrate on that one thing, by all means did it. He's been to the World Cup, and he actually, I must admit though, if he'd been on the same fuel as Maradona, he'd have caught him. Allegedly.
Right. Well, I think we're close to wrapping up. So this is where we give like a chance for any final sort of any little stories, Mike, that kind of come to mind that we haven't touched upon through either kind of highest highs, lowest lows, favorite players, anything about your brother. Any final little Mike story to leave us on before we wrap this one up?
One regret. One will regret. When we were younger, when Peter was playing for Bolton, he was 18, I was 17. We were that close. We looked rather alike. Now, in the Liverpool used to have the pink echo. Bolton used to have the yellow Ben or something. And I nipped out of the players' lounge to go get a copy of the evening news. And as I was coming back in, there was a family there outside, and there was a young girl in a wheelchair. And he said, "Peter," and I didn't wear glasses then. I said, "Hiya, can you sign this?" I said, "I'm not Peter." But he wouldn't believe me. And I said, "Stay there, I'm going to run up and get him." And I ran up, brought him down, and he'd gone. And to this day, that breaks my heart, that they walked away from there. I must have thought that Peter was a right.
Oh my gosh.
One of them.
Oh my gosh. That is a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Oh,
so have you signed his autograph since?
27 million times. I was on a train once going to Bolton actually, and some kid that I knew from when I was young said to me, "Oh, hi, Peter." I said, "Oh, yeah." Right. "I knew you're Mike," and I'm looking at him thinking, "You're stupid." He started me off smoking, and I looked and I went, "I'm not Peter, I'm Mike, and I've never smoked in your life. I've never seen him since." But I have signed one or two just because people are, that sort of thing happens. It colours you. It actually hurt. It cut me. So if somebody's asked me for an autograph and I just wanted to get rid of him, I've done it. And just, but as we got older, like he's after man I am. He's thick thin now, and I'm going the other way. But the difference is less, more marked. But when we were younger, there was a lot. There was one time we were on a night out in Bolton, and some girl was driving to a club in a little MG midget, and I tried to get a lift, and it obviously wasn't room. So I sat on the back holding on, and someone told Bolton Wonders that was our Peter. It wasn't.
It's brilliant. Oh man, well, we carry on asking stories like that.
One,
yeah, I was gonna say we've got to close on a funny one now, but I could carry on talking to you all evening, Mike, but I want to be respectful of your time because it's late on your side of the pond. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and doing this. It's absolutely so appreciated. So we'll
not a problem.
We'll put this out there on YouTube, loud and proud, and see if you can beat the numbers of Damien, the Sunderland fan, the other week. You know, we can knock his numbers over. He was a funny lad.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't any money of that night, did you?
There's only one thing There's only one thing we have to do, John, before we go, which is to find out who we are going to be following next time. So it's a very high-tech supercomputer, Mike. You won't believe this. Actually, this is almost like that 1984 Everton synthesizer track, because here we go. We will fire up the supercomputer. Ooh, okay. I can't remember the quote, John, but I'm going to give you a clue. Imagine I'm a female hook stood in the middle of a football pitch shouting, "Let's be having you," or "Where are you?" I can't remember what the shout was. Who am I, and who am I, and who have we pulled out the hat?
Sounds like Mike knows.
I know.
Go on, Mike.
No, it's Sissy.
Yes. I was like, it was
Delia.
good old Delia.
Oh, dear Lord.
So,
Gina
yeah.
Tonic, you are a nightmare.
So, right, we will be following up Everton by trying to find a Canaries fan. So, yeah, one last time, thank you very much, Mike, and good luck in the rest of the season for Everton.
I would wish you well in the derby, Mike, but I'm not going to.
Have you got your fingers crossed there? No, you haven't. Take care. It's been lovely talking to you.
Nice one. Cheers.
Cheers.
But take care.
Ta-ra.